I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you stopped by to watch and to listen to Flower Power by myself, Kieran Kelly. Remember, you are important and know that you are loved. This episode and this cartoon and the quote are all about how we self-deceive, the lies that we tell ourselves. And this is a wonderful and a very simple, honest prayer. Dear God, help me to stop bullshitting to myself. Now, it may seem strange. It may seem a strange prayer, but it's an important one. For some reason in our lives, we may feel inadequate or not enough. So we try to create a world that does not exist. It does not exist. So we indulge in the lying and gossiping of our minds and our hearts because we feel, and I especially have felt this in my life, I wasn't enough. Therefore, I had to create a world that first I had to believe in that did not exist. And then by gossip and lying, I tried to convince you that it existed. We were in Avila in Spain. And I look at this medieval town and the medieval wall that is built around it. What steps do we climb in our own hearts and minds? And I look at these stone walls and it reminds me so much of how sometimes in my life, especially my early years, because of feeling inadequate or ashamed, real or imagined, that I would build a castle wall around myself with very few entrances and exits. There was fortified as this stone wall in Avila, in the Midlands of Spain. It's an incredible place and was built for a reason. Anybody who tried to attack Avila, let me emphasize that again. Anybody who tried to attack Avila had to penetrate these medieval stone granite walls. I built walls around myself. Again, because for whatever reason I felt restricted, silenced by my own imagination or by the cutting words of others. However it happened, I built the wall around myself. And as I walk along this medieval wall, what's interesting, as I looked into the distance, I could see the rolling hills of Avila. And I knew in my own heart, when I built the walls that I thought were actually defending myself, what I didn't realize was that I was actually locking in things, memories, experiences. There was no way of getting them out. There was no way of releasing them. What I thought was freedom, what I thought was reassuring for myself, at first was a defensive mechanism as I perceived it. But as time went on, it stopped being a defensive mechanism and started to be a prison. I still looked to the freedom, thinking that's where I was. I was walking around those hills because I had built this marvellous structure in my own heart. There were some beautiful things within the walls, some wonderful thoughts, creativity, imagination, but predominantly fear and lack of freedom. It felt as if I was living on the outside of society. It felt as if there was an incredible banquet going on called life. Yet every time I tasted of that banquet, the food had no taste. The wine at the table had no taste. The company I could not hear, and I didn't know why. I did not realise that I was only looking at life and not taking part in life. And every now and again I would stand in one of my turrets and look out in the distant hills at the roads to freedom. Yet fear would look at this wonderful wall I'd built around my own heart and soul. You weren't getting in. Nobody was getting in. There's an issue with that. There always is. There's only so long you can walk around these self-imposed walls. There's only so many gateways and walkways. There's only so many lonely days that we can handle. And no matter where we go within the wall confines of our own heart, this self-imposed exile, which often we are unaware that has happened, there is only so long we can survive. Everything runs its course. Everything runs its path. And always I would walk to the edge of the internal castle wall and look out. Broken. Iona in Scotland, an incredible place. We visited Iona. And there is no castle walls here. And when I decided, through much help, to pull down my castle walls and walk freely as free men and women walk, there was a sense of calm, a sense of freedom. The walls and our hearts and minds can disintegrate very quickly by the simplest of words uttered by others, if we are willing to listen to them. Look to the beauty of freedom from self. Be careful of what castle walls you build, and be more vigilant about what you lock in. Join us. Share your experience through our Patreon group, and let us grow together.